Hello and welcome to Talk Yarny to Me. I'm your host, Oddknits Adventure. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram. As such, I have half a cup of lukewarm Earl Grey tea and I have a massive pile of stuff next to me. And, as reasons will become clear later on, I have notes. Who am I? And what have you done with the real Oddknits? So hello and welcome to August. It is the end of August. It is the very last day of August. Today I have a dinosaur pen. Because why wouldn't you? If you saw this in the shop, why wouldn't you buy it? In fact, it was the cheapest pen in the shop. I needed a pen. That's a last minute thing. So hi, I have some Earl Grey tea that I've nearly finished, and I have a massive glass of squash, and I've just realised, because this is my Grocery Girls cup, they're doing a live today. Is it normally like 5? Oh, it's 3:20. It's okay. How has your August been? Mine has had a lot of work because I can't say no when people say you can do extra. Somehow I still end up doing 6 days a week. But at least we're shut Sundays. At least we're shut bank holidays. So I had bank holiday Monday off, which was lovely. And at least I get paid for the extra hours that I do now. So that's awesome. Love my job. It's amazing. You know, you get treated like a human being. It's like respect and stuff. Yeah, so my August has been like that. I've gone for some lovely long walks. And there was one walk where like a herd of cows walked straight past me. Like I was sat in some woods. So I really was not expecting a herd of cows. I was sat on a tree trunk in some woods, eating my lunch, just chilling. I was listening to Sharp, good old Sharp, and all of a sudden a herd of cows walked past with Farmer, but it was just not expected. That was a good day, that day. That was a really good walk, actually. It's my favourite walk. It takes a good 3 to 4 hours, depending if you get lost or not. In fact, it takes less and less time the more I do it because I know the way now. But there is one bit that means you have to walk in direct sunshine for quite a long time. So I tend to go a slightly shorter way now that I know about, that means that I don't have to walk in the beating sun on tarmac, which gets pretty hot. I probably will go that way when it cools down. In fact, it's cool enough for me to wear a handmade jumper right now. This is, take off my dangles if you don't mind, my Pavement by Vera Valimaki, one of, love Pavement. This is in Mint Imperial. I believe the sleeves are only meant to be 3/4, but I am much more a full length sleeve gal. And then I will proceed to roll them up or scrunch them up for most of the day. I made it. I'm allowed to do these things. I have noticed recently there's a stain on the front. I don't know where that's from, but considering I wear it 99% of the time with dungarees, you're never gonna know. I think I've pulled it here as well. But again, I wear it with dungarees all the time, so it's fine. I need to dig out my other one, actually. That might even be in the ends to weave in. It's either in the ends to weave in basket or it's in the basket of hand knits that need washing. It is on my list. Because, you know, it's the end of August. 31st today. September tomorrow. So, you know, the cooler days coming. but my house is quite cold, so although it's probably about 23 degrees outside, it probably feels a bit more if you're sat in the sun. My house is still pretty cold, so yeah, it does get a little bit chilly in here, but that's fine. It's like my hand knit jumper and love it. It's in a kind of mint green, which, I mean, I love a green. I realised this as I was sorting out my stash earlier and put all my sweater quantities into a basket, and like, it's green. It's green and there's a random red. Right, should we get on with the podcast? Because it's been 7 minutes and I've been waffling about nonsense. A little drawer. And that's the book upon. It's a perfect size. So, I'm not going to lie. I made some goals at the end of the last podcast. I can't remember what those goals were. I tried to watch my podcast and I fell asleep. So I feel for you guys. I feel for the handful of people that have watched it, and if you've managed to not fall asleep, then power to you, because man, I was going to say I was boring, but also I think I watched it after a ridiculously long day at work, having got up at ridiculous o'clock in the morning, so of course I was going to fall asleep. I've fallen asleep whatever I watched. I'm not watching it again because it's weird. So I think I kind of remember what the goals were, but I'll tell you what I've done. And then I've already written down my goals for next month, so it's fine. We won't have this problem again. Starting with my tale of woe. So these are the Acorn Socks by Agatha Makuwicz. I'll put the name down. I'm really sorry if I said that wrong. I've got no idea how you would say that. And then it's got Amanita in bunnies. Amanita in quotes. Speech marks. That's what they're called. But yeah. What happened was, I knit the first sock perfectly to pattern. Lived my life. The second one, however, when you get to the little sort of scaly bit, I just did one repeat of the pattern, forgetting the line that's underneath the chart that says repeat this section 3 times. I just didn't. Which I did for the first one. I don't know how it happened. I just wasn't paying attention. So now I've got one sock. Oh my god, that's drastically. But it just look worse because I'm holding it cuff to cuff. It's a fair difference. Good 2 inches, I'd say. They're probably going to be house socks. Well, you know, or they're going to be worn underneath dungarees. So no one will ever know that my 2 socks are just not as long as each other. That's fine. The yarn is by Chromatic Yarns from her advent calendar, not from last year but the year before. It was the final big single skein for Christmas Day. It's called Lothlania's Mulled Wine, and it does look like mulled wine, and I'm looking forward to wearing these in the winter because I think that slip stitch gives it a little bit of thickness. I don't know why it feels thicker, but that's in the basket of ends to weave in, although it looks like I already have. No, I haven't done toes. Classic Amy. The toes felt in. Oh, I'm a danger to myself. So the socks my current sock whip, which is being held in this bag by Craftmonger Law. And you will see why it's in this amazing bag. Because it matches the yarn perfectly. Let's just show you the yarn first. The yarn is the red shoes from the Hans Christian Andersen Yarn Club by Green Lambkin Fibres. And she is on Etsy. She's also on YouTube, does some amazing vlogs. And you should check her out. Suzanne, you haven't posted for a while, but I'm hoping that Vlogtober's coming up. And you are the queen of Vlogtober, as everybody knows. So you better come back. So yeah, we've got that lovely minty green in there. And the minty blue. So it's some red flags, I suppose, for the red shoes. And I downloaded a complete Hans Christian Andersen, the mouth would say, fairy tales from Audible, and that's a good 40 hours of fairy tales, and they're all about 5 minutes long, which is quite nice. So I've been listening to that whilst working on these. I've also been listening to Little Dorrit. That is my current book of listening, is Little Dorrit. I haven't written down what I've been listening to, but I'm currently listening to Little Dorrit. Before Little Dorrit, I binge listened to, it's not Sweet Little Lies because that's the first one, but it's by Kaz Freya. I'll put it on the screen now. Stone Cold Heart, I think that might be the next one, but I listened to 8 hours of it in one day. It's one of those thrillers, murder mysteries where you work out very early on what's going to happen later, and it does unfold exactly the way you think because you suspect a twist and you can work out what the twist will be. But it's just nice. You don't have to think, just all unfolds for you. Yeah, but at the moment I'm listening to Little Dorrit by Charles Dickens, read by Juliet Stevenson, and it is so good. It's one of the best narrators I've heard. She can do different voices. Like the guy that does the Game of Thrones ones, he's a really good voice actor as well. He really varies it. We're getting distracted. Reggie. But I've also started a new podcast called Grim Reading, where two guys are going through the Brothers Grimm stories, and they read them, they poke a little bit of fun at it. You can hear the faint crackle of an open fire, which is quite nice in the background, so it's quite soothing. And at the end, they just give it a rating out of 10. And that's it. There's no kind of in-depth kind of thought to it. It's about 15-20 minutes long, and normally 2 stories. Well, one of them's been 2. Most of the others that I've listened to have been 1. But yeah, just a little bit of silly fun. So I've been going kind of down the fairy tale line with that. It came with a contrast colour in red, because there are red shoes. And I've done a sock. I have a hoe. I haven't started the next one. I literally cast this off this morning. Here's my empty needles. This has 2 hand creams in. It doesn't need 2. One of them can come out. But I am knitting the Swing Your Partner socks. No, Swing Your Partner fingerless mitts pattern from Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. I think she has written it up as a sock, but I've just lifted the stitch pattern from the fingerless mitts that I knit with Green Lambkin's Halloweeny I made some mitts using this pattern, and that was called the Swing Your Partner Fingerless Mitts by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. That's what that was. And I've just lifted the stitch pattern and put it on the sock. And I really like it. And you, with the yarn, there was a stitch marker of some red shoes because it's the red shoes story. Which is a bit... I know like fairy tales are dark and everything, but it's a little bit. But I really like it. It's quite nice. I've been really enjoying the stitch pattern as well because it's 2 row stitch pattern. One of the rows is knit, so it does go pretty quickly. In about half an hour I can do an inch. I normally try and listen to an hour of audiobook, or if I put on a podcast that's about half an hour of sit and knit. That's in that bag. Ooh, next, let's do Penguono. Penguono by Mr. Stephen West, knit out of various yarns. Nearly pulled off the needles, not that that would make much difference because I keep pulling the stitch holders out. Actually, I don't know if you can be able to see the shape of this because I've used the same pair of needles to hold multiple stitches. Yeah. Okie doke. Here we go. So this is the back. I mean, this is the front, the right side, but this would be on my back. So imagine I'm turned the opposite way around. So I've done section 1. I've done section 2 and 3, which is this side actually, which is the welts, and then the little sort of bit for under the arm. And then again, same on the other side, I've done the welts, and I'm midway through the sort of underarm placard. This is the first thing I've done. So here, where this dragon from Corner of Craft is where I was at the last podcast. So I've knit all of this, the 6 welts, and the 2 side bits. That's not bad going. And then that was how much I knit in the last time I sat down and worked on it. It's quite nice. It is quite a project where it doesn't take long to do a bit of distance, to feel like you're getting somewhere. Again, we've gone with the minty greens and blues. I'm loving it. I'm loving Penguono. It's a fantastic pattern. I love a bit of seed stitch. I find it quite self-soothing to sit and work on, and that will be my job for today because I've now decided that it's Stephen West knits on Wednesdays and Sundays. Today is Wednesday, not Sunday. Today's Wednesday. I haven't actually worked on this yet today. I've worked on everything else apart from that. So that is being held in my pink hazel bag, which just has the kind of the yarns that I'm working on, plus some scissors. I'm very low on scissors. I had a couple of pairs break on me recently, so I really need to get out and get myself some cheap little scissors. But I'm knitting that on, I think I'm knitting it on 6mm needles. But I'm loving that. That was quite a quick kind of roundup. I suppose I talked about it probably more last week about how much I loved it. So, not last week, but last month. Next, we have my crochet blanket, which cannot be held in my crochet bag because it is far too big now. So in crochet bag, which is from Westford Mill, I picked it up in a local gift shop. Is an enormous ball of Hayfield Aran mustard. Tiny little bit of deep red and even smaller bit of rusty. All in the same yarn range. I'm crocheting on a 5mm hook. I'm feeling very happy that there's a tiny little indentation here where my finger sits as I crochet along. This is now, I think, the third blanket I've crocheted with this hook. Because my 4mm hook is destroyed, like it's missing like up to here of the rubber, like it's missing a good inch of the rubber because I've used it so much. And I am doing Compass by Butternose Crochet. And it is looking very good. I'm pretty sure... Oh, yeah, I can't remember where I'm supposed to be on Penguono. I can't remember what the goal was on that. But, I've made some progress. This one, I'm pretty sure the goal was to finish the red. Or, no, it was to finish the yellow and then get started on the red. Well, we've done the red. We've done the yellow. We've done the red. And we are making massive headway on the second band of yellow. Well, people, please stop texting me. This is how much I got left of the yellow. Well, apart from the massive ball. But I'm not sure I want it to be much bigger. Because it is huge. So I did think I want it to be double the red, which is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I want it to be, that would be 16. But 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Currently at 11. Oh, I don't know. That might work. But little ducky here. God, was that where I was last month? Jeez. So I've done all of that all the way round. That's insane. So yeah, I would have wanted to have finished the red because I'd have been here. Or I would have wanted to finish the yellow and at least be on the red. Oh my days. I have worked on this quite a bit though, because there was quite a few days where I just needed to not think, and this was really good for not thinking. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. It's really warm and snuggly. I love it. There's a nice weight to it. Either I'm going to donate it or give it to someone. But yeah, it's good fun that. I love the little popcorn stitch. Now we have kind of Brucey bonus, if you want to call it that. So I went to see Thor, God of Love and Thunder, so I cast on a sock to take to the cinema and then didn't work on it throughout the whole film. It's not my favourite film. It felt like they were going more down the comedy route than a normal Thor. I mean, the Thor film it's normally drama with a bit of funny, whereas it looked like they were trying to do the kind of the Guardians of the Galaxy was like funny with a bit of drama. It's like they tried to go more that way but failed. And so I knit on this for a few car rides and sitting in the park because I wanted to just knit round and round and round while I sat in the park watching the world go by. And then decided that I want that to be a mitten. So I've ripped it off its needles. And I'm going to find a mitten pattern. And then that might be a kind of December cast on because it's quite Christmassy looking. Or maybe in November so that then by the time we get to December I can wear my Christmas mitts. But that gingerbread snowflake is just signifying where I was at the start of a reasonably long car journey. Well, it was 4 car journeys in one day. But yeah, it was quite nice just to sit and work and go round and round and round and round and round, really. It's good to have those sorts of projects. that is knit out of some Reggie. This one. Colour 03760. I haven't really given information about the yarn. That's that. That's no little. Oh, I explained this bag last time, didn't I? I made this bag and it's got polar bears wearing red hats and red scarves on a red background, so some of them look a little bit decapitated and bleeding from the neck. But I love them. And it's got a bag charm from Green Lambkin on there. With a little gingerbread, because I'm gingerbread obsessed. Okay, deal with it. So that was that. That's going to come off at some point. Now, we get on to the thing that I am absolutely digging. I have finished Spring Awakening from Little Dove Design on Etsy. You can get this as a PDF pattern, you can get this as a kit, you can get this as a bundle of all 4 seasons, which is what I did as a kit. Obviously I didn't know how to find the middle, apparently. And I can't believe that I finished it. What bit? Yeah, I was doing this bit when we last spoke. I think my goal was to have finished it. I've done all the French knots, which are very dodgy, but I'm hoping that it's going to be at a distance on the wall, and therefore you won't notice my dodgy French knots. So all that needs to happen now is for me to learn how to frame and then frame it. I'm so happy with it. Really am. Like I love it. It took me 18 months to do because I gave up at 75%, which is my normal give up point for cross stitch. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. So happy with it, in fact. In exactly the same project bag from Patchwork Paw Print. Oh, and if I do that, then you'll see it and it won't be as fun. From the Patchwork Paw Print, so that's the kind of main fabric that you never see because your project's in the way. And then that's the background fabric, which you always see because it's the outside of the bag. But I do love this. You've got little dogs on the bit by the zip. Again, we've gone for mincy blue because apparently I only do mint. I love this bag. And I'm on summer blues. Are you ready for this? This is how much I have done in the last, not even in the last month, because I'm pretty sure I started this on like the 13th of August. So in the last 2 weeks, I have done this. That's insane. And I've like broken it up into little steps for each day. Like today's mission was the sun, so I have completed the sun. And then because I was enjoying myself, I did the green door, the green of the plants in the window, and then the green top of this will become a strawberry. I suppose you want to see what it's supposed to look like, and that will make sense. It's using DMC threads. Like I said, it's from Little Dove Designs, and this is the design, which I completely forgot because again, it's been in a box for like 2 years, so I've forgotten what they look like. So I've been keeping it as a surprise. So I would really, so all I've got to do now is the tree and finish off the house here. So tomorrow's mission is the trunk, and if I get time I'll do the window box and the window of the door. And then Friday's crochet day, and then Saturday is stitching day, where I dedicate my post-work time to stitching, and that will be doing the green leaves of the tree, and if I get time, probably the roof, because I think this is going to be a lot of counting and a lot of thinking, so I'm thinking I might enjoy a bit of repetitive back and forth on the roof. And then next week I'll finish off the house, and that'll be the whole top bit done. And then I've got to move down to this bit, which I haven't quite decided how I'm going to tackle the bottom section really now. So I'm hoping I can get this done by the end of September. And then I can start the autumn one come October, which will be a sort of month late, because this is June, July and August. And my original plan I was making it was I broke it up into sections, into 12 sections, I think, the spring one originally, so that I could do a different section each week was my focus, and then I'd be done by the end of spring was the theory, and then start summer in June, but I just started summer in August, a year after I started spring. So yeah, I'm pretty amazed at how quick I've got through this. Obviously my cross stitch skills has improved. I'm getting faster, so this is good. Yeah, I'm loving it. I love the beehives and the ice creams. I was obsessed with these ice creams. They're really, really cool. So that's where we're at with that. And that is everything I'm working on. So now moving on to goals. So the goals are to finish the finish the red shoes socks. Be well on my way to finishing the tinderbox socks, which is the next yarn in the Hans Christian Andersen sock club. I would really like the crochet blanket to be finished. That would be amazing. I haven't mentioned Harmus jumper this week. Harmus by Anna Johanna. I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it at all. It's really been put on the back burner and forgotten about. And I'm not going to worry about it for a while. Okay. Putting out there. Probably once Penguono's done, I can put the brain space that's taken up by Penguono. I can put that into Harness. Penguono, I'd really like to be starting section 9, because I think I'm on section 6 at the minute. I might have started 7. So I really would like to be starting section 9. So I need to do, I think there's some upward bits to kind of do, because I'm currently like at the under bit here. I need to do some upward bits that take you up to the armpit and then carry on this way. So that would be really cool. I need to put a little bit more of a focus into that. But, well, if I get the crochet blanket done, I can put more focus into Penguono. Summer Blooms. I'd love to get it finished. It would be amazing to get it finished by the end of September. So I've got 2 weeks to focus on that bottom section, and then I can have 2 weeks to do the border. I think that is fine. The border I might get a little bit bored of. Put everything back in there. And I'm still using quite a lot of the threads that were left over from Spring Awakening. So, if I'm honest, I think you probably might be better off buying the PDF and then buying the thread separately, or maybe just getting the kit for one of the months and then filling in the gaps, because some of them I haven't even touched. some of the colours on Summer Blooms. Yes, I'd really like to be finished, and then we can look at, and I've got a Halloweeny type bag for my autumnal one. That's exciting. My other things I need to do is wind yarn for some Halloween socks, wind yarn for, so I've ordered Suzanne of Green Lambkin Fibres, it's called Spooky Sue, or Sue's Spooky Countdown to Halloween or something, and it's 13 mini skeins. I've ordered that, so I would need to find a yarn in the stash that I can use as contrast yarn. Oh, actually, I might even be able to find some grey in the scraps. That would be more preferable, really. Use up some scraps. Do a litmus cow with that, probably. So I think that'd be quite cool. Just have something that's plain and I can just dip in and out of. Good for visits to cinema or car journeys. So yeah, do that. I need to wash my socks ready for winter, weave in the ends of various stuff, and look at my Christmas quilt. Find some time for that. Yeah, I went through my stash earlier today. Just having a bit of a tidy up, trying to squeeze some more into the cupboard, and I managed to, actually. So I've obviously made a dent in something. I mean, the Aran blanket has probably helped remove a lot of space. No, not remove or make some space. That's what I'm trying to say, isn't it? Trying to make some space. So that's good. So that's where we're at. I think it's been a good month. I've done a lot of baking. I've done some experimental baking, which some have worked, some not so much. Of experimenting with a sourdough starter, making it slightly wetter than I would normally. So I normally do it roughly 50-50, but sometimes it's more 60-40, sometimes it's more 60-60, so it works out as 50-50, I suppose, again. But I tried experimenting with a wetter one, and it just made a very wet dough. So my pizza dough ended up becoming a focaccia because it was a beautiful focaccia dough because it was so soft and wet. So we ended up with pizza flavoured focaccia, which we did enjoy. It's like deep dish pizza, but extra deep. Just very posh cheese on toast. Essentially was what it was. It was just a margarita, so yeah, it was essentially very posh cheese on toast. Right. I did briefly want to mention something I've been thinking about, which is where I've seen a couple of people, over the years, I've seen a couple of people that have been like talking about how they want to simplify, how they want to embrace slow living, how like they don't like the produce feeling that podcasts give them or Instagram gives them, and that feeling the need to finish stuff, which I get. I have been there. But if I don't give myself goals, if I don't give myself arbitrary goals, I will just stare at my phone for the rest of my life, and therefore all the stuff that I've started will never get finished. And I do have to section it off. I do have to put it into bite-sized chunks, and I find it helps me to write it out on my planner, what I want to achieve that day and what I want to achieve overall in the week. It helps me. I'm not saying it's going to help you, but for me, it helps me stay focused, because otherwise I will cast on all of the things and I will never finish them, because I will cast them on and then the excitement of casting something new on will dissipate, and then I'll stare at my phone for the next 4 days. And that is what works for me. But I do find having lots of things on the needle quite stressful. At the moment, I think I'm veering on the edge, but I like the fact that I've got a cross stitch thing. I like the fact that I've got a crochet thing, and I like the fact that I've got a big knitting project and a small knitting project. That, I think, is my baseline. I think that's why Harmouth has just been completely forgotten about, because I'm at the level that I can cope with. And I've got simple, I've got complicated, that involves thinking, I've got a little bit more interesting than completely plain going on. I think that's also why I had to rip that Christmas sock off of the needles, because again, it was just an extra thing I didn't need to worry about. So that's where I'm at with it. Like, I want to simplify. I don't want to feel that capitalist feeling of needing to create, needing to produce stuff to feel valued and feel like I can come on here and talk to you, because if you haven't completed something, who cares? And if you haven't had time, who cares that you didn't have time? As long as you're well, as long as you're safe, as long as you're happy, that's fine. Like, I've been enjoying baking a lot lately. I've been enjoying a lot of very long walks because it's summer and I can do that. Come the winter, I won't be going on so many long walks because it'll get dark so quick. So yeah, come winter, things might be different. Work will be busier in the winter, so I will be doing stuff less. So I'm really trying to get that balance of making and being not productive but progressive, making progress. Which is why I kind of like the fact that Saturdays is a stitching day and Fridays a crochet day, because I've given those days sort of special things I've given them special days, so that I will definitely make progress on those items on those days. I'm meant to have every other Saturday off, although that hasn't really been working because we've got one staff member's off sick and it's holiday season. So, and they're off long-term sick, as in they've been off for like the last month and probably will be off for quite some time, as they've seriously damaged themselves. And so I've had to work a bit more. But what I'm trying to say is that I've got every other Saturday off, so in my head every other Saturday I should be able to make decent progress on my stitching. Was the way I thought Saturday will be a good day as making a stitching day. And yeah, I've been enjoying that and seeing the progress that I've been making, because the more I work on it, the more I want to work on it, the closer I'm getting to that end of the tunnel. It's really good. And it's just that kind of thing of, like, we moved in February and pretty much everything but this year's Green Lambkin club and I think some Giddy Yarns. I bought some Giddy Yarns. Apart from those like two things, and something I picked up in Pimlico. All my other craft stuff came with me, and in the couple of years leading up to us moving, I was trying to make more conscious decisions, trying to stem my spending, because we knew we were saving for our house, and I wanted to save more money, and also not necessarily because I think by then we had the deposit before lockdown, and then the world caved in on itself, and I was trying to save up as much money because we didn't know at that point whether we would have needed a larger deposit come the end of lockdown, because nobody knew where the economy is going to be at. And then it was, after things settled, it was kind of, oh, well, at least then we've got money to play with, making the place our own, buying the furniture, having the chimney swept and checked over, and having insulation put in, things like that. I mean, it was, you know, funds for that sort of thing. And the more I look at like my crazy craft space, I just feel a little bit overwhelmed at how much stuff there is, and so many possible ideas of fun things for me to do. Like, I've got loads of felt. I really want to get into making felt Christmas decorations. And it's the one craft that, like, when we moved, I was serious. I threw out a lot of stuff. I sent to charity. A lot of crafting materials, because I don't do the varied crafts that I used to do, because I don't have as much time, because I'm a grown-up who works full-time. I'm no longer a teenager who lives with her mum and dad. So, you know, in those days I had a lot of time. And I would muck about all the time as a teenager with just various random things, and I kidded myself into thinking I could teach myself how to draw. You know, so there was lots of various things that were just hadn't touched in years. And I think at the start of lockdown I went through everything, and stuff that I didn't want to part with in 2020, I was like, I'll keep it for now. If I don't touch it by the next time, or by the time that we move, then it's going. And then so 2022 came along, February came along when we moved, and I just was like, well, I haven't used it in the 2 years, because, you know, I cleared it all out probably about April or May of 2020. It's been nearly 2 years. I haven't touched it, haven't even thought about it. It's going. And so I got rid of a lot of stuff. And I've still got stuff. Stuff. You know, I've still got things that it's taking up space. And this is a tiny house. Space is very valuable in here. So I would like to get things down, and I would like to continue where I'm at. And also, all this time I'm not buying yarn every month, and not buying cross stitch kits that I never use. I've got an embroidery kit up there that I bought at Christmas time, and I haven't even touched it, because I was going to do that after I've completed all my seasons. Anyway. I'm looking at all my craft space, and, you know, there's things that I would love to do. So why not do that? Because I've got enough stuff to keep me entertained for a good few years. And I know my partner would give me the argument of where I'm like, when we look at stuff for the house, and I think it's not necessary, we're getting by without it. And he'll just say, well, at the moment it's the cheapest it'll ever be, because everything's only going to go up. This cost of living crisis that we're in the UK is fantastic and fun. There's a lot of things that are going to be more expensive. So he's saying we should do stuff now before it really hits us. And I'm like, I'd rather not. I'd rather save the money, because we might need it, because we both work in businesses that are reliant on people having money to play with. So fingers crossed. Yeah, so this is where I'm at. Like, I just think if I save, and I've really taken a step back. Like, Instagram, I have culled all the people that would make me want to buy yarn. So I've completely taken that out of the picture, so I'm not tempted. So that's good. And yeah, like I said, I've got loads. And like I went through my stash earlier and was just like, there's stuff in there that I got from Edinburgh Yarn Festival 2016. And I'm probably not even going to touch that until it's 10 years old by the time that I get round to it. So I feel like I've said all this before. But that's just saying or showing that it's been on my mind, and it is on my mind constantly. I have too much stuff, not enough space, and it's not helping to create the life that I want for myself. I think that's a good way of putting it. So that is where I'm at. And we are now hitting the hour mark of me recording, which looks like it's going to be the traditional point of me ending the show. So, I'm now going to put everything away because I've got a big pile of stuff on the floor. I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'm going to see when the grocery girls are on. I really feel like I'm in the mood to watch some old school Kirsty Allsop handmade Christmas episodes on Channel 4 online. Because I can watch Channel 4. Like, you don't need a TV licence for Channel 4, do you? So I feel like I might do that. I'm not quite ready for the annual sit and watch old episodes of River Cottage. Because I think that tends to be the first grotty day of September. Because I had that feeling earlier of, like it was a bit colder and it started to rain, and this morning we had a shower this morning, and I thought, I really want to watch some River Cottage, and then like the little brain goes, we've just had the August bank holiday. That is normally the sort of the grotty weekend, because it normally does rain on a bank holiday here in the UK. It's what normally happens, and it isn't like, as soon as we have like a slightly chilly day where I want to get under a blanket with big fluffy like bed socks on, and I sit and watch old episodes of River Cottage, and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and it's the start of autumn, and I might have a hot chocolate, and it's just a real treat. So, but I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. I feel like I want to watch, which is ridiculous, I want to watch a Christmas, handmade Christmas, but you need to watch it now, and you need to make notes so that you, when it gets to December, you can make it. Because you'll be ready for it. So, thank you so much for watching and spending a little time having a cup of tea or some kind of beverage with me. Thank you. Check in at the end of September. Hopefully we will have some more finished objects, and potentially a Penguono I can wrap about my person. That would be awesome. And a new crochet blanket to snuggle up underneath, because, you know, it's going to be freezing cold this winter and none of us are going to want to put the heating on because it's going to be so expensive. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Although, handy tip, a customer told me the other day, it's a lot cheaper to boil a kettle than it is to heat water up to you washing up. So this is what I'm doing now. And then they also said to me that cooking your dinner in a microwave is also a lot cheaper. But I don't have a microwave. But I've also, I cook dinners that are enough for 2 days. So that would be my top tip to add on to that. So I will, if I had a microwave, I'd warm up my lasagna in it. But I don't have a microwave, so I'm going to have to warm it up in the oven. And if I had half a brain cell, I would have done what I did before, where like, I've timed baking with dinner so that as I'm taking whatever I'm baking out, I then put dinner in. Because I made Nutella stuffed cookies today. Oh my days, they are delicious. I ran out of Nutella. I only had enough Nutella to stuff 6 of them. But the ones with Nutella in are so good. So good. I'm definitely going to make them again, but I'm going to make sure that I've got enough Nutella. And I want to do exactly the same, but with kind of gingerbread style cookie, like gingerbread spiced cookie, but with Biscoff spread in the middle. Because that would be amazing. Okay, right, I'm having a cup of tea. I'm going to watch some Old Kirsty All's Up. And knit on Penguono. And then I've got leftover lasagna for dinner, so I don't have to do anything other than put it into a dish and put some tin foil over the top. Oh, and I saved the tin foil from yesterday. So that's that. And I've got a Nutella jar that's, I believe you're supposed to put hot milk into, aren't you, to turn it into an amazing Nutella flavoured hot chocolate. I might have saved that for Friday. I've already had 2 cookies and I probably should only have had 1. Have an amazing day, have an amazing month, and hopefully I will produce a vlog in the near future for you to laugh at. Okay? Thank you. Bye bye.